Okay, so we're just going in. So you can rest in Shavasana. However, maybe putting a rolled up towel, if you have one, from the base of your spine to the top of your spine. So to the cervical, to the sacral. Okay, perfect. So good evening everybody and welcome. So again, resting in Shavasana, we're doing a yin-yang flow today for lower back pain and for the neck and shoulders. So we're going to start with something that will help with the opening up the chest, opening up the heart. And then, so coming down from a seated position, knees bent, reach the hands out long, and then with a rolled up towel from your sacral spine all the way up to your cervical spine, just slowly, slowly lower down. And rest your head back, and then bring the arms out to cactus if that's available for you. Now you can either have your feet out to mat distance apart with the knees together in a teepee pose if that's more comfortable, or with the legs out in Shavasana to mat distance apart but lying completely flat. Inhale and exhale. As you feel a gentle opening of the chest, you're going to feel a slight stretch across the pectoral muscles as the shoulders have a very gentle stretch, but in Shavasana today. Nice long deep breath as you inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Again, inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth with a big sigh, releasing tension, releasing pain. Letting go of anything that no longer serves you as you come into this time of self-care for you, knowing that this time is for you and only you, allowing any wandering thoughts to pass over to your maker, whatever that is for you. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, expand the chest. Feeling the muscles around the back of the rib cage, the shoulder blades, feeling those muscles engage, and then as you exhale, let go. Let it all go. Coming back to your breath, just like calling a small child back from play. And if at any time throughout your practice you feel your mind wandering into thought, again come back to the breath. Just like the soft breeze as it rustles through the leaves on the trees. Letting go into stillness. Breathing into the space. And breathing into the sensation that's coming up for you. Maybe setting a sankalpa for your practice today, setting an intention. Or maybe just sending some healing energy to someone that needs it right now. Even if that someone is you. Bringing the left hand to heart center, right hand to the lower abdomen. Elbows ground to the earth, to Mother Nature. Relaxing in and breathe. Three more breaths here. bring the feet together. Bring the hands underneath the soft glutes. Tuck the chin on the inhale. Bring the elbows behind the rib cage. And then slowly press into the hands, come up. Now if you wish, you can bring the rolled up towel blanket underneath your knees, going a little bit gentle on the knees. And breathe. We're going to slowly reach forwards and slowly come back down. Press the shoulders away from the ears. We're going to point the toes and reach the arms overhead. Reach, reach, reach. So when we do this, we're actually resetting the spine. Now, if you inhale as you reach back, you're going to feel the stretch in the abdomen and then the rib cage. Now, if for some reason you feel a tweaking in the rib cage, which I do sometimes in this, especially in this position, rock the hips and you'll find that you'll be able to release that twinge in those muscles. Exhale, release, let go. Allow the whole body to relax. And again, inhale, reach, reach, reach. Pointing the toes, reaching towards the back and the front of the room. Exhale, let go. One more time, reach, reach, reach. Exhale, release. Bring the heels in towards the glutes. Now if you have a block available, maybe placing a block in between the thighs. Reach the hands out long, maybe to brush the fingertips against the heels. And then shoulders come away from the ears. We're going to tuck the chin slightly, crown extends long. We're going to tuck the pelvis. Press into the toe mounds and the heels. Engage the thighs, engage the glutes, come up. Again, we're in a Pilates bridge, not a yoga bridge yet. So you feel the straight line from your knees to your shoulders. Press the hands down. Not going too deep yet. Hold here, squeeze into the block. And when we squeeze into the block, relax the glutes now, so that you're feeling the inner thigh engagement. That will help to strengthen the knees. Now when we squeeze the glutes, we're actually helping to strengthen the core, which will ease the lower back. So if you're feeling that the lower back needs assistance today, squeeze the glutes. If you feel your knees need assistance, if you have aching in the knees, then squeeze the inner thighs. Breathe into the space and slowly, slowly, slowly come down. Hug the knees in towards the chest, keeping the block in between the thighs. Rocking backwards and forwards. Massage out that lower back. Giving yourself a nice little back massage here. And then float the heels back down. Press the hands to the earth. Again, tuck in the chin. Tuck the pelvis to the earth. Engage the glutes, engage the thighs, and lift up. Now if you wish, you can go maybe a little bit deeper this time. Maybe link the hands behind the back, come onto the shoulders more, and come into a yoga bridge. Now in a yoga bridge, as you can see, I'm arching the spine more, pressing into my feet, pressing into each toe mound, squeezing the thighs together, squeezing the glutes, and breathe. Breathe. Slowly, slowly unlink the hands and slowly come back down. Again, hug the knees back in, rocking backwards and forwards, or side to side, whatever works for you. And again, press the heels down. So the heels don't have to be really tight to the glutes. You can have them so that maybe just the fingertips are just about touching the heels. So going a little bit gentler to what we normally do. Press the hands down. Again, tuck the chin. Tuck the pelvis to the earth and start to lift up. And this time float the arms overhead. So you feel a little bit of a shoulder stretch too. Again, not going too deep, engage the glutes. Squeeze into the block at the same time. And breathe. And slowly float the hands down as you come down one vertebrae at a time. Release the block to the side. Hug the knees back in. And then we're going to circle the knees one way. Again, massaging out that sacral spine. And then circle the knees the other way. And come back to stillness. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Flex the feet. Double wind relieving pose. Either linking the hands over the shins, or you can wrap the arms around the shins with the hands resting against both elbows. Double wind relieving pose, or Bharasana. Breathe into the space. Shoulders pull back and down. Exhale, release. Float the left arm overhead. Roll over onto that left side with the right hand in front of the heart. Hands pressed down. And then slowly, mindfully, when you're ready, float up, straightening out the right leg as you come into a nice, easy seat position, whatever that is for you, at the front of your mat. So again, go gentle on yourself. If you need to sit on your rolled up towel or on a block, sit on a block. Going a little bit easier. Now when we sit on a block, it allows the pelvis to tilt forward slightly and allows a slight gentler opening in the hips. Maybe your knees will also touch the earth, maybe not. So from here we're going to raise the arms up overhead. Link the hands behind the head at the occiput or crease of the neck. We're going to inhale, gaze up, just slightly, open the elbows wide. Exhale as you round in. Bringing the belly button back towards the spine, but float the hands so that you're not dumping weight in the head here. Rounding in the shoulders. And breathe, 3 breaths. Inhale, gaze back up, open the heart. Elbows wide, nice opening in the heart. Exhale, round back in. So here you can feel the stretch in the trapezius, in between the shoulder blades, the neck, the shoulders, and the core. Sucking the belly button back towards the spine. Breathe. Inhale, gaze back up. Exhale, fold in. And slowly, slowly grow tall. Reach the hands out wide and float down. So again, we're going to do a little bit more to wake up the spine. So we're going to bring one hand to the crease of the right hip. Reach the other hand up towards the sky. And then maybe walking the hand out to the side slightly. And just come over, press into the right hand. And only go as far as your body will allow you to go. So we're not cranking over to the side. We're just reaching up, no further than a 45-degree position. Shoulder pulls back so you feel engagement in the core, which will strengthen the lower back. Breathe. Shoulders pull back and down. Neck is extended, not dumping. And maybe gaze under that left elbow. Breathe. And slowly sweep the left hand around. So left hand now comes to the crease of the left hip. Maybe walking the fingertips out, reach the right hand up. Inhale. As you exhale, just gently over towards the left. Press into the left hand, gazing under the right elbow this time. So feeling the stretch from the shoulder, the side body, the waist, and maybe the lower back. Breathe into the space. And slowly, slowly, slowly come out. Release the block from underneath your glutes, straighten the legs out long. And again, coming into Dandasana, but again, you can bring the towel underneath the knees if you have issues with the knees. Flex the toes towards the nose. And then hands come back by the sides of your hips. Tuck the pelvis so that your shoulders are stacked over the rib cage over the pelvis. So you feel a core engagement. So even though we're not moving right now, you're actually building on those core muscles, the muscles around the spine. Breathe into the space. So the core comes from just underneath the rib cage right down to your pelvic floor. Breathe, giving ourselves a nice little energy boost here. And then from here we're going to swing the legs around. We're going to come through tabletop. So knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders. We're going to come heavy in the hips as we make that straight line with the body. And then bend into the elbows, come all the way down. Forehead comes down. We're going to reach the hands back against the thighs. Point the toes, press into the feet, pull the shoulders back towards each other as you engage the glutes. Neck extends long, not arching the spine, we're just floating the shoulders back towards each other. So coming into half locust. Breathe into the space. Exhale, let go. Inhale, extend the neck long. Pulling the shoulders back towards each other. Maybe this time float the hands up, level with the hips. Press into the feet. Feel like you have a string from your crown towards your big toes. Breathe. Stretching you in either direction. Exhale, release. One more time. This time, maybe float the legs up as you float the shoulders back towards each other. Breathe. Exhale, release. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Elbows stay tight to the rib cage. So this is a modified locust now. So again, inhale. As we reach the neck out long, press into the hands just slightly. Engage the glutes, slowly come up. Only halfway. Keeping the feet pressed down, exhale, release. Inhale, float back up. Exhale, release. One more inhale. One more exhale. Press into the hands, floating back through tabletop. Knees come out wide, mat distance apart. Big toes together. And slowly press the sit bones down to the heels as you reach the hands down in front. And then you can rest on one ear or the other, coming into child's pose, Balasana. So again, this is really good for the lower back. Press the hands in, try to get your sit bones back towards your heels. You'll feel a deeper stretch in the lower back. Breathe. And if you were on one ear, swap over to the other. And breathe in here. And then slowly gaze forwards, press into the hands, and slowly, slowly, slowly walk back up. Coming through tabletop. I'm just going to wake up the spine again. So we're going to inhale, hands underneath the shoulders. Now, if you have shoulder issues, you can have the hands at mat distance apart. Knees underneath the hips, hip distance apart. Press into the shins. Inhale as you drop the pelvis, gaze up, shoulders pull back, not dumping in the shoulders. Exhale, round in. So when we round in, there's engagement in the core, and that will help the lower back. Inhale, drop the pelvis, gaze up, open the heart. Exhale, round in. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. That beautiful stretching cat. 3 more, following your own flow and pace of breath. Gazing up for cow Vinyasa. Exhale as we stretch into our stretching cat to Ardha Madhurasana. And slowly coming back. Curl under the toes, maybe walking the hands out an inch or two. Press into the hands, press up to downward facing dog, and start to pedal out the feet. Now, when we do this, please make sure you don't over straighten the leg that is straightening. Always keep a micro bend in that knee. Believe me, if you have knee issues and you overextend, it takes months to heal. It's not worth it. Never forcing, always listening to your body. And a reminder, I'm just here as a guide. You are the expert on your body. Breathe, come back to stillness. Now in down dog, you can always have a really deep bend in the knees if you need. If you look at the screen, you can see what I mean. Without having to straighten the leg into that perfect triangle shape like this, you can bend the knees. That's still downward facing dog. And then from here, we're going to step the left foot forwards, pivot on the right foot, setting up for warrior one to a 45-degree position. Then come onto the fingertips, cup the hands, gaze forwards, bend into the left knee, micro bend in the right knee as you raise the hands up, setting up in warrior one. So hips face forwards. Now when you reach up tall, you're going to feel an extension in the spine. Tuck in the chin, shoulders pull back and down. Now you don't have to have a really wide stance. Listening to your body. Breathe. So this will really help with lower back. And when we also stretch out the tummy, we're also suppressing hunger. So if you haven't eaten yet, it's good. Breathe. And slowly, slowly pivot on the right foot, pivot on the left so that both feet face forwards and reach up to that star shape to reset the spine. So tuck the pelvis, micro bend in the knees and breathe. And then float the hands back to the hips. Pivot on the left foot so that, that comes to a 45-degree pivot on the right so that it faces forwards, bend into the right knee, hips face towards your right foot now. And then reach the hands back up, warrior one. Micro bend in that back knee. Now you may want to bring your hands down momentarily to make sure you have engagement in the inner thighs. That will protect the knees. Reach the hands back up. Grow tall, nice tall straight spine, tuck in the chin. And breathe. Virabhadrasana 1, 5 breaths here. Slowly, slowly float the hands back down. Pivot on the left foot, so both feet are facing forwards. Step back to the dog and pedal it out. And from here we're going to slowly, slowly come back down to the knees. Now you may want to fold over your mat for extra support underneath the knees if you wish. Or if you have two mats like I do, then you may be okay. Or you may want to put a rolled up towel underneath the knees if you have issues there. Curl under the toes. We're going to come into a few of those ustrasanas. Again, this will really help with issues in the lower back. So make two fists of the hands. Bring the hands to just the very tops of the soft glutes. Elbows come back towards each other. Now as you do that, you want to tuck the pelvis. Press the hips forwards. If you don't have any neck or shoulder issues, you can arch the spine back and allow the head to fall back. Breathe. Inhale, tuck the chin, come back up. Reach up tall, tuck in the pelvis, and breathe. Exhale, maybe bringing the fist back or press the hands against the very tops of the glutes. Elbows pull back towards each other, engage the thighs, pressing the hips forwards, arch the spine, come back, same position as before, and breathe. Slowly tuck the chin, come back up, reach up. Press the hands forwards against that invisible wall, tuck the pelvis, breathe. And then slowly, slowly come back. So you can either do the same position as before, or if you have good flexibility, maybe open the heart, press the hips forwards, engage the glutes. As you bring both hands to the heels, and again, when you get there, you can really open the spine then. You can open the heart, pressing the hips forwards, and then allow the head to come back. So lovely camel or ustrasana. Breathe. Breathe into the space. Feeling that lovely opening in the spine, engagement in the glutes. Breathe. Inhale, tuck the chin, slowly come back out. And now reach forwards. Knees underneath the hips, reach the hands as far forwards as you can go. And come down to the forehead into puppy pose. Shishoasana. Maybe grounding down to the elbows. And if you have really good flexibility here, maybe coming onto the chin. And that way your heart may fold further to the earth, closer to the earth. Breathe into the space. Inhale to expand the chest. As you exhale, releasing deeper into the pose. As you allow the hips to become heavy, coming down into our Sphinx pose. Pressing the elbows underneath the shoulders, or maybe walking the elbows just a little bit forwards if that's uncomfortable for you. Engage the glutes, neck extends, long gaze in between the hands, shoulders pull back and down, and breathe. Underneath the shoulders. From here, we're going to reach the right hand out long, level with the shoulder. We're going to press into the left hand as you slowly roll over onto the right side. So setting up in broken wing pose. So this is now the yin part of the practice. Bend into that bottom leg, so the right leg is bent. Now you can press the left hand as if you're coming into a half push-up. Press into that left hand. Now if you're not feeling anything here, you may need to bend that left leg, bringing the foot behind the thigh of the knee, or maybe the calf. And again, you should start to feel sensation in the deltoid, in the upper arm, maybe across the chest. And if you want to go slightly deeper, then bring the left hand behind the lower back. And start to breathe into the space, letting go. Breathe. Now in a yin pose, we tend to hold these poses for about 3 to 5 minutes. Now when we do that, what happens is we're encouraging the relaxation response. So when we get to about 60 to 90 seconds, it's almost like the body breathes a deep sigh of relief. And when we get there, that's where we can find a deeper release in any soreness in the body. In this case, that would be maybe between the scapula and the trapezius, the deltoid, and the shoulders. And maybe feeling a stretch across the pectorals too. Breathing into the space. Let it all go. Now, if in particular, if you have your hand at your sacral spine, if at any time you find you get pins and needles in any area of the body, please bring your left hand back underneath the shoulder, never forcing. Now, when in yoga, if you're trying to become more flexible, we never force the body. We become more flexible by relaxing into the pose, not by cranking into the pose. So just be aware of that. If you haven't brought your hand back already, bring it back underneath the shoulder, start to straighten out both legs and slowly roll back onto the tummy. Both hands come underneath the shoulders and just rock the hips from side to side, releasing the stretch. And again, a reminder, when we're in a yin pose, we can take our time coming out of the pose, sometimes up to 1.5 minutes. So Just be wherever you are. If you need to take more time, listen to your body. And then we're just going to repeat that on the other side. So we're going to straighten out the left arm, level with the left shoulder. Resting on the left ear as you push into the right hand underneath the shoulder as if you're coming into a half push-up and pushing yourself onto that left side now. And again, maybe a micro bend in that left leg this time as you bend the right knee and bring the foot behind the calf, the knee or the thigh. And again, if you want to go just a little bit deeper, maybe bringing that right hand behind the sacral spine, opening the heart, and start to settle in. And breathe into this lovely broken wing pose. Breathe into the space. So again, nice long slow cleansing inhales and slow releasing exhales. Let it all go. And a reminder, if you're feeling a sensation, like a tingling, that's okay. However, if you get pins and needles, bring that left hand back as if it's going to sit underneath the shoulder. Feeling into whatever your body needs. Breathe. And again, if you haven't brought that left hand back, start to bring the left hand back. Straighten out the left leg, straighten out the right. And slowly, slowly rolling over onto your tummy and onto your forehead. Slowly, slowly come back up into Sphinx, so elbows underneath the shoulders, or about an inch in front of your shoulders. Pressing into the hands, engage the glutes, shoulders pull back, gaze in between the hands, neck extends long, feeling that stretch in the abdomen, engagement in the glutes. Breathe. And slowly, slowly bring the hands back underneath the shoulders, press back up through tabletop. And then we're just going to swing the legs around. So again, straighten out the legs so they're in front. So from here we're going to do bow tie with the legs, or houryogaclass but sat down. So we're going to leave the left leg straightened. We're going to bring the right foot over towards the left hip Now the left leg can come over at a slight angle so that the knees are stacked. So if this isn't available for you, then maybe just seat figure 4 with the right foot flexed. So whatever works for you. Or maybe if you're fairly flexible, you can bring that left heel in towards the right hip. Again, knees should be stacked, so if they're not, or you feel tweaks in the knees, bring that left leg out. So listening to your body. Now from here, we're just going to take the left arm behind the back, reaching in between the scapula. Right hand comes out to the side, level the shoulder, thumb faces down, and then either using a strap, or if you have good flexibility here, you may not need to use a strap. Flip the strap over your back with your left hand, and then reaching that left elbow up towards the sky, right elbow down. So keeping them one tight to the rib cage, one tight to the side of the head. Now, if you have any sacroiliac issues in that lower back, what we're doing here is we're rebalancing that area. So if you have pain here, keep that tuck in the pelvis, keep the spine long. We're not folding forwards like we would normally do if we were in Garudasana or eagle pose in standing. We're just staying tall. It's really important. So you have an imbalance here. So if for some reason you have one leg that's longer than the other, for instance, you're going to have issues with your sacroiliac region, which is just below the waist. Breathe into that space. Staying tall with a slight tuck in the pelvis. And slowly release the arms. I'm going to bring the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale the shoulders back and down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Again, inhale. And exhale, roll the shoulders forwards and down. And then unfold the legs. Shake it out. Now again, if you wish to have the towel underneath your knees, feel free to do so. Or not. So we're going to repeat that on the other side. So this time the right leg stays straightened. We're going to take the left heel over towards the right thigh. Again, the right leg would want to come to a slight angle so you stack the knees. But again, if you're not here, figure 4 with a flex in that left foot this time. Or again, you can fold the other heel in towards the left hip. But again, tweaks in the knees, keep the leg straight. And we're just going to repeat that on the other side. So again, you can either reach the right hand down in between the shoulder blades, left hand comes out to the side, thumb faces down, and then reach up to bind the hands. Again, staying tall, tuck in the pelvis so you have engagement in the core. That is what's going to help to release the lower back. Staying tall, right elbow against the side of the head, left elbow as tight to the rib cage as you can go, and breathe. Now again, using your strap, please not ever forcing the body into a position it's just not ready to go into. Breathe into the space. Release the arms, bring the shoulders up towards the ears, exhale the shoulders back and down. Keep going, releasing the stretch. And then reverse the other way. And slowly release the strap to the side. Slowly, slowly going to come back down to our backs. So nice 90-degree angle with the legs, reach the hands forwards and slowly, slowly, slowly come down. Bring the left heel in towards the glute. Bring the right foot over the left thigh. Now from here, gentle pressure on the inside of that right knee with the right hand. Flexing the foot. You can stay here or link the hands behind the knee or the hamstring. Shoulders stay back and down, flexing both feet now as you keep the left knee in line with that left hip. Maybe gentle pressure on the inside of the right thigh. So again, you're going to feel this in the sacral region, the hip, hamstring, IT band, and glute. Or if you want to go slightly deeper, then link the hands over the shin, again keeping the knee in line with the hip. And breathe. So reverse pigeon or kapotasana. Breathing into the space. Feeling that lovely deep stretch in the hip or wherever that sensation is coming up for you. Breathing into that space. Slowly, slowly release the leg down, uncross the legs, bring the feet out to mat distance apart and just windshield wipe the legs, maybe holding onto a mat for support. Releasing the stretch. And then from here we're going to bring the right heel in towards the right glute. Step the left foot over the thigh, flexing that left foot. So setting up in reverse pigeon or sleeping pigeon on this side. Allow that left hand to come to the inner knee and gentle pressure here again, not forcing. Any sharp pain, please stop immediately. Discomfort any deeper than a 4 to 6 out of 10, go gentler into the pose. So this is the gentler version right now. If you want to go deeper, link the hands behind the knee or the hamstring, keeping the right knee in line with the hip. Flex both feet. Shoulders pull back and down. So when we flex the feet, we're actually opening not only the Achilles and arch support, but we're also having a deeper stretch in the hips. So that's why we do that. So again, you can stay right here with gentle pressure on the left elbow into the thigh this time. So feeling that in the hamstring, the hip, IT band on the left, glutes and lower back. Or if you again you want to go deeper, link the hands over the right shin and start to breathe into the space, feeling into the sensation that's coming up for you. Letting go. unfold the legs. Feet come out mat distance apart. Again, maybe holding onto your mat for support as you windshield wiper the legs. Releasing the stretch. And slowly heel-toe the feet back together. Raising the right arm overhead this time. We're going to bring the knees in towards the chest and roll over onto that fetal position. Again, left hand in front of the heart, right hand presses down. Take a couple breaths here. And then slowly straighten out the left leg, press up. And then from here, we're going to come into a kneeling position. So Bharasana. So again, working on that lower back. So staying with your sit bones on top of your heels. Now, if that's okay, and you don't have any issues with the knees. If not, then maybe it needs to be like this. However, if you want to go just a little bit deeper, maybe sit on a block. And then allow the heels to come out to the sides, so they're almost like by the sides of your hips. Now tuck the pelvis, so that will help the core engagement, which helps the lower back, because essentially the lower back is part of the core. And then if you want to go deeper, link the hands behind the back, keeping the tuck in the pelvis, keeping tall in the spine, shoulders pulled back, allow the hands to float away from the hips. Slight tuck in the chin, crown reaches up towards the sky. Or if that's not available, maybe holding on to opposite elbows. Shoulders again, pull back, keep that tuck in the pelvis, is really important. So you're going to feel core engagement even though we're not moving. Or maybe even reverse prayer, as long as the palms are together. If the palms don't touch, come back to a gentler position. Again, listening to what's going on with your body. Shoulders pull back and down, tuck the pelvis. Engage the glutes, particularly in this pose, and especially if you're sat on that block. Keeping tall in the spine, breathe. Maybe float with the eyes closed, or rest with your gaze 2 or 3 feet ahead. Slowing down the breath. Now this particular flow that we've done this evening is especially good for the lower back, especially if you have herniated disc, lower back issues. And also the shoulder work is good for frozen shoulder. Breathe. Now staying where you are in Bharasana, I'm just going to turn so you can see what I'm doing. So you can still stay on your block if you wish, or come off the block, whatever works for you. Maybe you can seated and cross-legged if that's more comfortable for you. From here, just going to do last one for the neck. So we're going to reach the right hand up towards the left ear. Float the left hand out and flex the hand. Shoulders pull back again. Tuck the pelvis. Grow tall in the spine and allow the head to come over towards that right shoulder. So again, we're not dumping weight in the head. So you should feel that along the left side of the neck, top of the shoulder, and maybe all the way along the arm towards the wrist. Breathe. So resetting the energy centers around the heart, the nadas. And slowly release. We're going to gaze down towards the left shoulder. And then taking the gaze diagonally, gaze up and back down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. 3 more on this side. And then slowly grow tall. Again, keeping that tuck in the pelvis. This time float the left hand over towards the right ear. Gentle pressure on the head as the head comes over towards the shoulder on the left. Flex the right hand as the arm lifts up slightly towards the side. Now depending again on if you have neck or shoulder issues, the arm can come up only as far as the shoulder. However, for me, I prefer it here. And then just feel into space. You're going to feel sensation maybe going down to that right hand. If the sensation feels too deep, lower it slightly. Feel where that point is for you. Breathe, letting go. Keeping that tuck in the pelvis. And slowly release the left hand, grow tall. And then gaze down towards the right armpit. And then take your gaze diagonally up. Inhale down. Exhale up. Keep going. And 3 more. And then slowly come back. Come off the block if you're on a block. Swing the legs around. And then slowly, slowly bend into the knees. 90-degree angle with the legs. Reach the hands forwards. And slowly, slowly come back down onto our backs for our final pose. So again, get your block underneath your pelvis, lift the hips up. I'm going to finish in supported bridge today. So allowing the block to come underneath the pelvis to release the hips, the pelvis and that lower back. Hands come out wide. Or maybe to cactus, whatever works for you today. Just feel into what your body needs. Letting go into the stillness as your pelvis becomes heavy, releasing your hips, releasing your lower back. Let it all go. Breathe. Maybe even taking your rolled up towel underneath your neck, just to go a little bit gentler along your spine. Breathe into the space, letting go into the stillness, feeling supported, feeling your body soften, feeling supported by Mother Nature and all she provides. Letting go into stillness, finding peace in your practice, letting it all go. And breathe. coming back to your sankalpa, coming back to your intention. Maybe just sending some healing energy to someone that needs it right now. Even if that someone is you. Again, maybe bringing one hand to the heart center and one hand to the lower abdomen. Left hand to heart for compassion. Right hand to your abdomen for grounding. Breathe and let go. And slowly release the hands to the earth. Start to rock the head from side to side as you start to wake up the body. Press into the hands, press into the feet as you lift the hips up and release the block to the side. And then again bring the knees in towards the chest and just rock from side to side, massaging out that lower back. Raising the left arm overhead, roll over onto your side, back into that fetal position. And then when you're ready, slowly coming up into a nice, easy seated position. Whatever that is for you. Again, you can sit on your rolled up towel, your block, whatever works for you today as we seal off our practice. Raise the arms up overhead as you float the eyes closed, palms together. And slowly bring the hands down through your third eye, ajna, place of intuition. Slight tuck in the chin as you bring your hands to your vishuddha or throat. Place of expression. And then thumbs come to the sternum at Anahata chakra. Your heart, place of compassion, of love. Coming into prayer. The light in me honors and supports the light within you. Namaste. Thank you everyone for sharing in our practice today. I hope you enjoyed this flow and I hope to see you again next week. Bye bye.